read their book before they come on the air. So I know what I can ask them in questions, and we can carry on a nice logical conversation. And I know I can ask them questions that pertain if it's true or a nonfiction or a fiction book. I know what to ask them. I don't know. That's just my feeling about a lot of shows out there that do damage to the paranormal. And you know what? Every day that you go on the internet and you find another person doing a paranormal talk show. You know, I hate to say it, or you get these mystics on that see things that they only see because the information they give certainly hasn't been accurate. I've had a couple of them on my show, and they start telling me things about me, and they were 180% or 180 degree totally wrong. But, you know, if they enjoy it, you know, that's cool. You know, it's like I had a group of ghost hunters come on my show. Now, there's some legitimate ones like Southern Paranormal. I give them 100% because they go out and they do their research. They handle it professionally. And they've been on my show a couple times. They're really cool. Then I had this other group that came on my show, and I actually cut the guy off after maybe 5 minutes. I let the lady talk for about another 20 minutes before I disconnected her off the show. It appeared that their idea of being ghost hunters was to go out to somebody's house and spend an hour or two looking for ghosts and then leave. Well, I don't think you can go out ghost hunting to somebody's house for an hour or two and let the people still stand around and watch what you're doing and find anything. And their issue was they weren't so much into trying to find something. They kept repeating on my show this, they want to get picked up by a cable channel. You know, the whole group of people on there wanted to be picked up by a cable channel. They wanted to have a TV show. So they've been doing this now for a few months, and they want to be picked up by a cable show, but they haven't done anything seriously. They don't take it seriously. I mean, how can you go out to somebody's house and do an investigation and look for ghosts or spirits or anything in 2 hours? You can't do it. I mean, you know, talking to these people that are really into ghost hunting and coming up with, you know, with voices and recorded stuff, they sometimes spend hours and hours, not just one time, but 2 or 3 times going back and investigating. I don't know. So if I made enemies on that, I am sorry. I mean, everybody has their own point of view. I just want the paranormal to be treated with respect. Okay? And, you know, I'm not out looking to be rich because I know that'll never happen. And I'm not going to be, you know, I mean, I was approached myself by a major chain of radio stations, which would have probably made me like the 3rd largest radio show, a paranormal show, worldwide. And I turned it down. They offered me a lot of money, but again, it was being run the way they wanted it. Okay? I pretty much don't take phone calls in, but that's going to change now that the last half an hour of the show, or if we got a special guest on that wants to, you know, answer questions, then, yeah, we're going to start taking in phone calls, and we're going to have a day once a week coming up here starting in the middle of September where you can call in and, you know, talk to the guests, talk to me and ask questions or tell your stories or whatever. Yeah, I think that's really cool. But this one network, you know, wanted me not to be able to screen the calls. It would go through their engineer. They would screen the calls, dump them off to my computer, then I would take them. It was only the guest. I like picking out my guest. I spent a lot of time finding guests. They were going to find all the guests for me. So I was just going to be becoming nothing more than a mouthpiece. And I realized that's not what I'm going to do. And I don't want to do it. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here tonight. You know, I totally blew it when I scheduled the guests. I was thinking this wasn't Labor Day. I looked at because I book all my guests usually about a month to 2 months ahead of time. Evidently, I was looking at the wrong month. But it went good, and I think it was good entertainment. And I want to thank all you guys for listening to me just rant here the last few minutes. But tell your friends about Night Dreams Talk Radio. And we're also changing the name to Night Dreams Radio very shortly. In fact, on some of the apps now, instead of typing Night Dreams Talk Radio, you type in Night Dreams Radio, and you'll find us that way, too. I think it's more cleaner, easier to remember. But, hey, tell your friends. It's important. Share us on your media. You know, a lot of people, you know, I have all these people listening. You know, I have a lot of people, you know, hitting like, but I'd like to see you hit follow, too. You know, it just lets me know, you know, who you are individually. No, I don't know your address. No, I don't know any of that. I just know that Jane Doe is listening to my show, and it makes me feel, you know, more connected to the guests. Last thing I'm going to say before I get out of here, I am still steaming mad. I am steaming mad about this report in the news that MasterCard has sold all their information of all their members, all the people they have that has a MasterCard and has had a MasterCard, to Google. They shared all that information. They sold it, got money for it. Now, isn't that strange? I don't know how much they sold it for, but gee, do they pay you to use their credit card? Well, they're getting paid now for you using their credit card by Google. Now, what happens now is Google knows everything you buy. Every place you bought, every place you went to, McDonald's or Denny's or whatever, and where you spent your money and where you spend the most of your money on, and how much money a year you spent on your MasterCard. They now know all that. So now they can target you on the internet to try and make more money off of you, you know, advertising. But how long is it going to be before all these other credit card companies start selling their information now? Because they found, well, MasterCard did it, so now, hey, we can make millions and millions or whatever it is, and we'll just sell all our records too to Google. Man, that's scary, because if I wanted to go out and buy, now I don't even know if they make a Playboy magazine anymore, but I don't. But let's say if I wanted to go out and buy a Playboy magazine and I use my MasterCard for it, right? Well, I don't want my computer to all of a sudden flash one day when I'm looking for buying a new car or just Googling the news. All of a sudden I see Playboy magazine flashing up on my screen. I certainly wouldn't want my wife to see that if she, you know, used this shared computer. That is scary, guys. You know, think about that. I mean, that is being sold out. If it was me, I think everybody who owns a MasterCard should just cut it in half and say that's the end of it. Other than that, if there's some real wealthy people out there that use MasterCard, maybe they should go to an attorney and get a class action lawsuit going on. But I'm sure there's some type of clause, you know, because they revise your contract on a periodic basis with all the credit card companies, you know, where you need a magnifying glass like your grandmother used to use to be able to see the fine print. I'm sure it's there that they have the right to sell all your information. But if everybody knew that everything you bought is going to be sold and who you bought it from and how much money you spend and all that, that is scary. Anyway, I'm going to jump out of here. We'll be back on tomorrow. And again, share us on your media. Tell your friends about Night Dreams Talk Radio. And don't forget this Friday, the last half an hour, Scary Friday Night. You can call in at 1-253-203-6695. You know, tell us a scary story, please. And you know what? If you come up with the most scariest story for that night, you'll win a prize from Night Dreams Talk Radio. So everybody, you have a great one. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to watch some sci-fi horror movies. I love the old movies. I like the ones that are so bad that they're good. With that in mind, well, you guys stay out of trouble, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Night Dreams Scary Story Night on Friday nights. Call in at 9:30 p.m. Pacific at 1-253 888-203-6695. Please check out the Night Dreams Talk Radio website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Also, if you want to keep our show free of advertising, just hit the donate button. Give $1 or $2. Remember, all prior shows are always free to listen to. We at Night Dreams Talk Radio thank you for your support.